Okay, great. So, thank you everyone. Welcome to another session in our series of sessions that we are having that we are organizing for beginners in tech. So, today we will be discussing about Android development. So, if you were not around yesterday or on Tuesday we hosted a session for web development. Yesterday we did one for Flutter, and today we are discussing about Android development. So the session is mainly targeted at beginners, but intermediates or experts too are welcome to learn one or few things. So we kind of have a small number of people here. So I would say we wait a couple of minutes more, like 3 minutes more for people to join the call so we kickstart. So by 12:05 we are going to kickstart the session. So thank you everyone for joining this call once again. It's 12:05 already, and we should kickstart the session. We won't want to waste too much time because today is Thursday. People may be busy one way or the other, and we would like to kickstart the session as soon as possible. So like I said, this session is mainly targeted at beginners, and we have a speaker in our midst that's going to help us with getting started in Android development. How you can start Android development on a strong foot. So before we even go into introducing our speakers and everything, like we would like to give a brief description about our speaker, who the person is, what the person is into, and how the person is going to help us in this session. So I would like to invite one of my colleagues to do a kind of intro.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aminat, and I guess Ahmad has already given us a brief of what we are about to get today, a 5 day onboarding tech session of getting started in tech. And today our section is Android development. I'm personally excited to be in this session today because our speaker is a female and she's an Android developer. Because we rarely have females in tech, and for her to even be a coder, so I'm really excited. And we have Tech Queen Chizo. We have a Tech Queen here. Chizo Nwoko. I'm not sure I got the pronunciation well, but she's an Android developer, currently a Microsoft student partner advocating for Microsoft technologies. And she also writes about various Android development tools and best practices on EdPresto. So, ma'am, it's really an honor having you here at this session. And guys, please let's try as much as possible to make this an interactive one. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Chisom, like Amina said. Thank you for that amazing introduction. So today, okay, I think I should just share my slides now. Mm, So, can I confirm that you guys are seeing my screen?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll start from here. Okay, so we're going to be looking at everything Android today at the like foundation level. I think I should have like beginners or intermediates on the call, but you will definitely learn something new at the end of the call. So, my name is Chisom. I'm an Android developer, but I'm currently studying computer science at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I'm in my final year. I'm also advocating for OTO with identity and security. I am a proud Microsoft student partner and a technical writer. So that's a bit about me. So this is like the brochure for today's event. We're going to be looking at what Android development is, getting started, what makes an Android application, tips and tricks, challenges while building your Android application, working on your first project, and resources you might need. So um, I feel no matter which level you are on, you definitely be able to learn something, no matter how small. And even if you're just starting, I just hope that I'll be able to say something that might motivate you or probably make you forge ahead in your Android journey. So the first thing we're going to start with is what Android development is. So Android software development is the process by which applications are created for devices running the Android operating system. So Android development is basically developing for Android phones. Any application you see running on an Android phone is an Android application. Any application that you download from the Google Play Store is an Android application. So to build Android apps, you need a programming language, obviously. So the three programming languages for Android application is Kotlin, Java, and C++. So Kotlin was made the official programming language for Android development by Google, I think 2017. We are very much used to Java, but Kotlin came with some sort of um, interoperability and other nice things that Java didn't have. So Kotlin is officially the programming language for Android that's used now. But I'm not saying that Java and other languages aren't used, but I'm saying that this is the most popular Android development programming language. So learning Kotlin is actually quite easy. What you just need to do is to go to the website and read more about the language. Kotlin can be written for web front end too, multi-platform mobile and server-side development. So I think Udacity has a lot of courses on Kotlin that you can get started with. So you don't really need to learn much about the language. You just need to learn the foundations, conditional statements, how to print stuff on your console, how to display text and all that. Then you can now dive into officially learning Android development. So the next slide, talking about getting started. What do you need to get started? You're new in tech, or you want to switch fields, or you're a web developer, or you're a UI UX designer. How do you get started in building Android applications? So the first thing you need is passion. I'm saying passion first because passion is something that drives someone, no matter how boring or challenging a particular task gets. So for people that have been programming for a very long time will tell you that something definitely should keep you going. It could be passion, it could be money, it could be any other thing. But I feel for me, it's basically passion because there's sometimes where I'm doing something that's actually very challenging and I'm just looking at what made me started in it, and it just motivates me. So passion is energy. You feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you the most. So the first thing I feel you should need is passion. Secondly is speaking a language. Like I said, Kotlin became the official language for developing Android applications as of 2017. So Kotlin is like your first thing to start learning or start working on a small scale. Like I said, I'm not saying you should learn everything about the language. You just need to learn the basics, then you're free to like dive into development proper. So the third thing is the official Android documentation. This is like your Bible to learning. So this is where you come to check out for code syntax and other stuff you might need. So this is the documentation here. While you're building your Android application, this should be your first go-to resource when you're stuck in doing something, and it just has a way of guiding you to fix your problem or making sure you're on the right track to doing something. So this is the link right here. Third is Android Studio. Every how do they say it? Every worker has his tool. So I think the web guys use VS Code and Sublime and all those. So for Android, we use Android Studio because it's like an inbuilt tool for every single thing you need in building your application, building your APKs and everything. So downloading Android Studio is not that hard. You just visit the website and make sure your computer is compatible to everything. So Android Studio has a lot of inbuilt features. I know of people that use I know of people that use other IDEs. Sorry. I know people that use other IDEs to develop Android applications, but I see them building their APKs somewhere else, and it's actually very, very stressful. But on Android Studio, you can build your app and see how it looks like. You can run your lockout, you can check out your layout and everything. So it's like everything you need to build an app from start to finish. Third is material design. So material design is a design language developed by Google to help designers and end users replicate Google's work. So if you notice, the user interface for iPhone is different from the one you have on your Android device. So if you're an Android developer, you should or you must adhere to some design principles or design rules where you should put your buttons, how you should position your layout and those other stuff that you have on your phone. So material design kind of gives you a guide to learn how to design your Android application so that it can be compatible with anybody's Android device, and to also make sure that you're designing something that could be used or could have like a very good experience. Lastly is writing some code. So when you're done with all these, when you're done designing your layout and everything, you get to work and start writing your code while staying updated. So I'll move to the next slide. We definitely have time for questions. So what makes an Android application? An Android application can be categorized into about four parts: an activity, a service, a content provider, and a broadcast receiver. So an activity represents a single screen with a user interface. An activity performs actions on the screen. Example, when you open your WhatsApp application, the first screen you meet is activity. So you interact with that call is the activity. The second component is a service. A service is a component that runs in the background to perform long-running operations. So a perfect example for this is your music. When you're playing your music, you notice that you can still navigate to some other app and your music keeps playing. So that's one component of an Android application where it makes it such a way that you can keep hearing your music or keep playing your music while you operate on another app. So the third component is a content provider. A content provider basically takes care of all your app's data. It manages a share of a shared set of apps data that you can store in your file system. So a content provider is just managing your data for you. And lastly, broadcast receivers. Broadcast receivers are like the back end side of your mobile device that keeps you in check, that checks your for your alarm clock or battery percentage or anything device like that your Android application is making use of and all that. So those are the four components of an Android application. So there are some tips and tricks while developing for Android: architecture, flexibility, navigation, Android Studio, and Android Jetpack libraries. So Android Jetpack Compose, or sorry, Android Jetpack actually came with a form of architecture that hasn't really been in existence. It's called the MVVM. So what an MVVM architecture does is it clearly separates the user interface from the application logic. So Android has evolved these past few years. So this architecture basically states how you should arrange your apps layout or apps device configurations. So that's one. So Android also has flexible and adaptive UIs. You shouldn't just create your application for just one device. If you're an Android developer, you should learn how to build to accommodate other screen sizes. If you're building for a normal Techno phone or Infinix device, you should also make your screen to adapt or your design to adapt to probably someone using an iPad or something bigger, a device that is much bigger, or even a device that is much smaller. So one of the tips is building for big screen sizes that are both big and small. Navigation. You can handle your navigation perfectly on Android using fragment transitions. It's also part of the Android Jetpack library. So this controls the way the user navigates. Some applications I've used, I can't really navigate the way I want to because stack management isn't that perfect or other stuff like that. So that's one thing Android. Still in beta testing. So this is Android Studio Canary. Okay, I think it's still in beta testing. So it has a more improved look or a more improved library or the famous Jetpack compose. So this is it. So here you get to learn about so many libraries that could make building for Android easier, like Camera X, Work Managers, data binding, Android that every Android developer, both new and old, should learn. So you just keep yourself up to date. So the next slide, um, to develop an Android application is something you should spend time doing because you can't just open your IDE and start dropping buttons, dropping layouts here. Android app requires proper planning. You need to plan how your front end looks like. You also need how to connect to one API or the other. So this is where you should spend more time in development, planning how the app is going to go and every other thing. So once you're done with that, you move over to actually doing writing code and designing the layouts and everything. So some people love doing the front first before the back. While some people like doing the back before the front. So any method is better, but development is where you like put a full-fledged app. So testing is actually very important. We have different kind of tests. We have unit tests, we have integration tests, and all those stuff. So you write some tests to make sure that your UI works great, your navigations are okay, and your app is doing what it's meant to. So finally, you get to ship your app to Play Store and follow some other guidelines for your users to have a perfect time using your app. So in each stage, there's several challenges you're going to face. going to be changing a lot of things. So this is something that you can overcome as a beginner or even as an experienced developer. Like I said, you should spend more time on planning before moving to the next stage. Kotlin to some extent, and you're really hyped about building a simple application and all. So the first thing is it doesn't have to be super big. You don't need to build something very, very, very amazing. It was very simple and it got me very excited. So when you're thinking of something to build for your first project, you don't need to build something that will wow people or something that would help half of the whole universe. If you can do something that makes you happy or that makes someone close to you happy, I think that's everything you need. Secondly, it might not be a solution. It could be a personal to-do list, or it must not solve a problem at the time. I mean, you just there learning, and so you're not meant to do something that's too wow. So keep learning, keep applying, learn a library. I try to implement that library in one of the apps I've built or in any simple application I want to do so that I could learn more about that library and also would probably write articles and probably teach someone else. So as you're learning, keep applying the new things that you've learned and keep building upon what you already know. Then you might just have connected a recycler view to an API or a database. It shouldn't be something you should be sad about. You should be proud of your that you should really be happy about. So I think these are the 4 points that you should put in place when you're thinking of starting your first project. So we're almost rounding up. These are some curated resources I did for beginners and or also experienced professionals. I'll start with the Aggregate Roadmap that almost everybody has heard about. So this is the complete Android about the basics of Kotlin, data structures, algorithms, OOP, and the grading system. Moving over to version control, how to um, use GitHub and your repo hosting services, then building an application, learning about intents, activities, fragments. And so if you're starting out, I feel this is a to check out. I'm still going to share my slide. I feel this is something you should check out. Is the a very resourceful guide to like guide you into what you need to know because learning without a guide would mean that you're going to be learning something that might not be necessary at that time. So I feel these are some things that you should know, and I think if you follow this map, you have a bit of direction. Secondly, is Google Code Labs. So what Google Code Labs does is it gives retrofit. When retrofit came out, I had a very, very hard time picking up the library and everything. So what I did was I got to Code Labs and I searched for it and I was able to learn it from start to finish. So you're not actually building a full app, you're just at the end of the Code Lab, you're definitely going to learn everything about the library and you can personally implement it into what you want to do. So this is another nice learning resource that gives you enough guidance that you need. So thirdly is my blog. I write mostly about Android stuff. So if you're interested, you can always come to Espresso Educative to learn about Android. I feel that's how people understand it more. So this is also another resource you could try out. And I think that's all. You could reach out to me on social media on Twitter. Here's my handle and also on LinkedIn. Okay. So I think I'm done. I should be open for the floor should be open for any questions or anything you might want to ask.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chisom. So I love the fact that this session is not too long, and it's kind of it's informative enough. So thank you very much, Chisom, once again. And like Chisom has said, she's open to questions. You can ask any questions that you want. We have about 5 minutes or more before we round up for Q&A. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a question, but someone asked. Okay, there's a question there. Is it okay that I start with Flutter?
Okay, the person is asking if it's okay to start with Flutter.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so I don't really know how to answer that question because um Flutter is cross-platform and Android is like native. So I feel you should start with the one you feel most excited about and comfortable at the moment. So then you should be free to like switch or to be flexible with any of your platforms or frameworks. So I think anyone that excites you more, you should start with that one. You can always come back to learn native Android if need be. So I might not really be sure to answer that question.
Okay, great. So I would like to add some one or two things to what you have said. So it's okay if you start with Flutter if you feel okay, this is what you need right now. So Flutter is used to build cross-platform applications, and people choose it because it saves time. So the time you're supposed to use to develop an application for Android and develop a different one for iOS, it's kind of shortened when you use Flutter. So when you use Flutter, you also have some limitations, but it's okay if it serves what you want to achieve for now. So if you're looking to, I don't know, it depends on what you want to do. So if you're looking to check out a possible role at a particular company and you feel okay, Flutter is what they kind of need most, you can go for Flutter. And based on any other decision you make, you can decide which one of them to go for.
Okay, I think yeah, that's a really nice answer.
Okay. So the same person asked a second question. Said where can I start yes, he said where can I start learning from scratch?
Okay, that's a good question. Where can you start learning from scratch? So I think the first resource that comes to my mind is Udacity. I think Udacity has a complete Android developer course that's free. Am I right? Yeah, I think it's free. So I think you should just go to Udacity and check for their Kotlin course to just learn the basics. Then you can probably save up for a nano degree or just kickstart your learning from there. I mean, everything's on the internet. So that still will give you like a very nice foundation to start learning Android. And from there, you can look for other guides that could just kickstart your learning. So it doesn't really have I can't really give you like a direction. Okay, maybe after Audacity, do this, do this, do this. So I feel once you just get the foundation right, you can explore and make mistakes because that's the only way you can learn. And from there, you just start flying high.
Okay, great. Someone else asked a question. Um, how long have you been into Android development?
Okay, I started Android development January 2019. So I think that's 2 years, 2 years now.
Okay, that's great. Another question. Okay, I think it's answered. The person said, "When did you start learning?" So I think that question is answered already. So the Udacity course you were talking about, I think I have access to it. I'm gonna share the a link to it in the chat box. Give me a minute. Yeah. So if you still have any other question, the chat box is open, and if you feel you want to unmute yourself, You can easily unmute yourself and ask your question before we round up. And just so you know, this session is recorded. If you want to view the recording after the session, you can easily go to our YouTube channel, DSC Unilorin. You can search YouTube for DSC Unilorin, and you'll be able to find our session there. And give me a minute, please. I'm still battling with session. The link. Yeah. Okay. So I sent the link, the chat, so you can easily reach out to that through that link. Check out some things there. In addition to Android documentation, you should be on a great start. And also there are some YouTube channels that you can also follow. So I would type names of YouTube channels in the chat also. Um, some of which I can remember from the top of my head right now. These guys are great. They're doing a very big job. So if you can easily search their channel on YouTube. Some of them have thousands of videos on Android development, and yeah. So yeah, these are those that are some that I can remember from the top of my head right now. So thank you everyone for joining this call. I can see that there are no more questions, and I think we all have had kind of like a good experience, and you have gotten the things you need to get started in Android development on a great foot. So I wish everyone a great day ahead. As we'll be ending the session right now. So someone asked, how about the Android Study Jam? Yeah, Android Study Jam. We kind of made this session a preliminary, yeah, because people that we hosted a boot camp, kind of like a boot camp last year, and we noticed that people had beginners had issues navigating or choosing which tech field to go for. So basically, when they register after registering, and they had a brief, they were introduced to that tech field. They felt, oh, this isn't for me, and they were switching from one tech field to another. So this session and a couple of sessions that we still have in this week, we've hosted them to kind of like give people like a brief introduction to what um and all these tech fields are all about. So the Android Study Jam is something that we are still planning about for now. Yeah, because we have to take time to plan all these things very well. But there are so many other trainings that you can get started with for now. Um there are so many. Yeah, the ALC, I think they are planning something very soon. Yeah, they will easily broadcast whatever thing they have for now. Zuri trainings, I'm not sure if their registration is still open, but there are so many other trainings you can get started with for now. But the Android Study Jam isn't something that we are planning. We are planning it, but it's not. We are not ready to start Android Study Jams right now. But you can also reach out to some other DSCs. There are so many other DSCs that are hosting events or sessions that will help you get started with Android. With all these resources and links that we shared, I think you should be on a strong foot starting out in Android. So you can ask your question. Okay, you said how can you improve your skills as an Android developer? I think Chisom, I think you should be able to answer that.
Okay, how can I improve my skills as an Android developer? So, I think just keep making mistakes and keep learning new stuff. I think that's the only way you can grow and also explore new things. So, being an experienced Android developer, I don't think I'm that experienced yet, but from people I'm learning from, what I see they do is okay, resources. Okay, so like I said, I don't really have any direct or full fledged Android developer resource. But one I would like to recommend is the Android developer nano degree on Udacity, the one that's paid. Um, I think that's the only um updated Android learning platform that you could use, and it's really really nice. So it's actually very expensive, but if you look out for any scholarship or anything, you should be able to get. Yeah, it's expensive. You should be able to get like a scholarship to take the course. But if not that, I feel everything is on the internet. There's some YouTube channels posted that I use myself. So I feel you should just like build stuff and search for stuff and add features and fail in adding features, make mistakes, and just build upon that. So um I think I got into this what do they call it? Is it tutorial help, looking for resources, always learning, and not building. So I feel less resources, more hands-on practice with the library and the framework. So I think that's everything I have to say.
Okay, great. Like Chisom said, some resources on Udacity are kind of like to get enrolled in nano degree is expensive. So I shared a link in the chat. That link contains like a course that will help you get started in Android development. So I think it should be of like a great start using that link plus other YouTube channels that I posted in the chat. I think you are off a good start because nowadays resources are kind of expensive to get by. But in our DSC we are working on a platform that will help beginners navigate resources easily. So we are still planning also to push this platform out, but something we are still doing something actually. So that link should help you with getting started with Android development. I think you have a great start with that. So so yeah, I think someone has he has another question too. Do you recommend joining tech community like Twitter?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's actually very important. Not only joining the community, actually networking with people in those communities because I think that's one of the few things that help me grow. Networking a lot and talking with people that are doing the same like I do. So I mean it's not that hard to just reach out to someone, just network. That's the reason I can say. Yeah, so it's highly important to network with people that are doing the same thing as you, especially senior developers and developers that are more experienced in what you do. So coming from what they post, coming from what they say that's Android related, to really go a long way in helping you with your journey.
Yeah, okay. How can we reach out to you?
Okay, I'm available on Twitter. I think my DM is open. I'm also available on LinkedIn, and if need be, I'm available on WhatsApp. That's if your wahala is is not something we can solve on those two platforms, then you can reach out to me on WhatsApp.
Okay, great. I would like to ask you a question too. Adebayo, are you in any DSC whatsoever, or are you a member of any DSC or DDG? Okay. So I think that might be one of the reasons why um you're kind of getting not getting resources and all those things. So being a member of a community or DSC helps you to get DSC University of Ilorin. I'm not sure if you are a student of University of Ilorin, but it doesn't matter. So using that link, you can join DSC University of Ilorin. You are able to join our WhatsApp groups. There are resources that are usually shared over there. There are many to a particular point, but I can't get a hold of it right now. So if you are able to join the WhatsApp group for University of Ilorin, it's okay. So you're able to see, to get to know, to meet more people, to share resources and network together. So I think that might be a great start for you too, because you were like joining a tech community. Is it okay for you? Yeah, it's actually very okay if you're able to join a tech community. So if you have any other question, you can easily um post, and we'll resolve it here. If not, any other person that has any question, um ask a question and we can easily round up the session. Yeah, okay. I think we are done. Yeah, so thank you very much. A very big thank you to Chisom for coming to this session, for accepting our invite. So a big thank you also goes to every one of you that has decided to attend the session. So we know that based on the kind of situation we have now, nobody's allowed to like fully go physical, attend physical sessions. We are limited to using Google Meet, Zoom, or whatever to attend sessions. This would have been better if you had physical sessions, but there's nothing we can do for now. We still have a couple of people that joined the session, so thank you very much, and I wish everyone a great day.